Welcome to another deep dive.
Oh, I love a good deep dive.
You've sent us some intriguing stuff from Introduction to Hindu Esoteric Astrology.
Fascinating stuff. Really gets you thinking.
Ready to go beyond those basic sun sign horoscopes.
Absolutely. Let's get esoteric.
Into the realm where astrology meets spirituality and the mysteries of the universe.
Cosmic destiny, hidden meanings, all that good stuff.
Maybe even a glimpse into our soul's journey, you know?
It's amazing how this approach reframes those familiar concepts like, say, the zodiac.
Like instead of planets dictating events.
Right. Instead of Mercury's in retrograde, so everything's going to go haywire.
It's more like Mercury's position is reflecting something deeper.
Yes, something deeper going on, and
Yeah.
it's up to me to figure out what that means, for my own growth.
Exactly.
Think of it like this. Imagine like a giant clock, right?
Yeah.
Representing the universe.
Okay, a cosmic clock. I'm with you.
The planets are like the hands, you see,
Mhm.
pointing to significant moments.
Mhm.
But those moments, they're already set, preordained, as the book says, by, well, higher beings.
So it's not the planets themselves causing those events.
No, they're just indicators, you could
Yeah.
say.
Okay, so where does this Kala Purusha come in, the cosmic man?
Yes, Kalapurusha.
Yeah.
Each zodiac sign, you see, actually maps onto a part of his body,
Like literally.
literally linking our individual lives to the grand scheme of the universe.
Whoa, so instead of I'm a Gemini, it's more like,
I'm a walking, talking piece of the cosmos.
that's a pretty wild way to think about it, I gotta say.
It is.
But how does that actually play out, in the signs themselves?
Well, let's take Aries, the first sign of the zodiac.
Okay, the ram.
It's not just about being impulsive and energetic.
Yeah.
This book links Aries to a spark of creation,
Creation.
a sudden burst of energy that requires sacrifice.
Sacrifice. That sounds intense for Aries.
It even connects into the concept of original sin.
Wait, original sin?
Yeah, original sin.
How does that tie into Aries? Isn't that a pretty heavy concept for the first sign of the zodiac?
It might seem like a leap, but think about what original sin represents.
Okay.
A separation from unity, that first impulsive act that sets everything else in motion.
I see.
There's a suddenness, a sense of sacrifice inherent in that act of creation, right?
And that's pure Aries energy.
Pure Aries energy, exactly.
Okay, I'm starting to see the connection. It's not just about personality traits. It's like these deeper archetypes playing out in our lives.
Right.
What about Taurus? That's all about the bull, right?
Exactly. Taurus embodies the power of creation, specifically the potential to bring forth life.
Makes sense.
Think of the reverence for Nandi, the bull, in Hindu temples.
Yeah.
It's a symbol of that potent creative energy.
It's interesting how that same bull symbolism shows up in other cultures too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like those ancient Minoan bull leaping rituals celebrating procreative power.
Exactly. These archetypes are woven into the fabric of human history. Understanding them helps us connect to those deeper currents. Now, Gemini, the twins, they always get painted as the sign of duality.
Two sides of the same coin, always restless, never quite settled. So, sounds about right.
And this book takes it further, linking it to the myth of Castor and Pollux, one divine twin and one mortal.
Huh.
That constant interplay of spirit and matter, the struggle to find balance,
It can lead to that inner conflict, that restlessness we see in Geminis.
Yeah, that's it.
It's almost like they're embodying that fundamental tension within the universe itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about Cancer, the nurturing crab?
Now, Cancer is fascinating because the book presents it as a sign of extremes.
Extreme.
It's the nurturing force, capable of immense expansion, but also prone to egotism.
Oh, wow.
It even says Cancer can be either a Brahmin or a Sudra,
And that is?
the highest or the lowest caste in the Hindu system.
So, quite a range then.
Quite a range.
Yeah.
From selfless caregiver to total egotist. It seems like a lot depends on how that nurturing energy gets channeled.
Makes sense. So the potential is there for both good and bad.
Exactly. The potential is there for both. And that's a theme we'll see throughout the signs. Now, Leo, the lion, the king of the jungle.
Always the center of attention, always needing to shine.
That's the essence of Leo, individualization. That creative drive, the desire to express your unique self, it can be powerful.
Powerful, but
But it also has a shadow side, the potential for selfishness.
so finding that balance, right, between expressing your individuality and remembering you're part of something bigger.
Precisely. Now, Virgo, often seen as the meticulous, analytical type.
The perfectionist, always striving for order and purity.
Well, in esoteric astrology, Virgo is shrouded in mystery. This book actually mentions that ancient seers concealed Virgo's true nature
Why would they do that?
because of its potent and sometimes dangerous potential.
Dangerous. Okay, now I'm intrigued. What kind of danger are we talking about here?
Think of it as accessing a level of consciousness that's almost beyond intellect.
Okay.
Figures like Pallas Athene in Greek mythology or Saraswati in Hindu tradition,
Right.
they embody that Virgo energy, wisdom, purity, but also the power to cut through illusion and reveal harsh truths.
Ooh, getting chills. Virgo is definitely more than meets the eye. What about Libra, the scales?
Libra, always striving for balance and harmony, right? But the book presents it as a more dynamic balance,
Hmm.
like a cosmic dance.
Huh.
It even suggests that Libra was a later addition to the zodiac,
Really?
symbolizing the separation of the sexes and the emergence of love and compassion.
So with Libra comes a new layer of complexity in human relationship.
Exactly. And it's interesting how the book connects that quest for balance to the inner turmoil many Libras experience. It's not just about external harmony. It's about that internal struggle to find equilibrium.
Always weighing the options, trying to find that perfect point of balance. Okay, what about Scorpio? The mysterious, intense, transformative sign.
Scorpio is all about transformation. It's linked to Kundalini, the serpent fire, and to Patala, the underworld realm of initiation in Hindu mythology. It's about facing your shadow self, undergoing profound change, and emerging stronger on the other side.
So it's not just about being intense and secretive, it's about that journey of death and rebirth, that willingness to confront the darkness within.
And precisely. And the book even mentions a connection to Vasuki, the serpent god who resides in Patala. It's about accessing that primal energy and using it for spiritual evolution. Now, Sagittarius, the archer, always aiming for something higher.
The eternal optimist, always on a quest for truth and meaning.
That's the essence of Sagittarius, God's grace. But the book highlights the internal struggle within this sign, the pull between material desires and spiritual aspirations. Think of Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita,
Oh, yeah.
torn between his duty as a warrior and his yearning for peace.
So even though they're aiming high, they can get caught up in those worldly pursuits.
Yes, it's a constant balancing act, using that fiery Sagittarian energy to propel themselves towards their goals while staying grounded in their spiritual values. Now, Capricorn, the ambitious goat, always climbing to the top.
Driven, determined, always reaching for success.
Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planet of discipline and limitations. It's about overcoming material obstacles to reach spiritual heights. The book connects this to the symbolism of the crocodile and Dionysus, higher beings who reside in Capricorn. It's about transcending those earthly limitations to achieve something greater.
So Capricorn is more than just about worldly ambition. It's about using that drive to achieve spiritual mastery. What about Aquarius, the water bearer?
Aquarius is known as the father of the new age. It's about pouring forth new ideas, challenging the status quo, and potentially even upending existing paradigms.
The innovator, the rebel, the one who brings fresh perspectives to the world.
The book makes a fascinating point about Aquarius having its heart in the throat of the Kalapurusha, meaning it's deeply connected to the throat chakra, the center of communication and expression. They're here to shake things up, to spread new ideas, and pave the way for a new era.
I love it. They're not just rebels for the sake of rebellion, they're driven by a higher purpose. Finally, we have Pisces, the two fishes.
Pisces represents an auspicious beginning. It's about transcending duality, achieving spiritual harmony, merging with the cosmic ocean.
The dreamer, the mystic, the one who sees beyond the veil of illusion.
Exactly. It's about the dissolution of the ego and the attainment of spiritual wholeness. And the book even describes Pisces as representing hermitages and places frequented by Mahatmas,
Places of...
spiritual retreat and enlightenment.
Wow, what a journey through the zodiac. Each sign is like a piece of a cosmic puzzle, revealing different facets of the human experience. And it's not just about our personalities, it's about our soul's evolution.
And the planets play a vital role in that evolution,
Oh, absolutely.
acting as agents of transformation, guiding us towards our ultimate destiny.
So let's talk about the planets. What insights does this source material offer about their esoteric nature? Each one has a unique energy and function, right?
Absolutely. Think of the planets not as causing events, but as indicators of inner processes and karmic lessons.
Okay.
The book emphasizes that even the so-called malefic planets ultimately serve our soul's growth.
So it's not about good planets and bad planets. It's
No.
about understanding the lessons each one offers.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Let's start with the sun.
Okay, the big one.
It represents spirit, vitality, and the individual ego. It's the source of life, the giver of energy.
The book mentions a fascinating connection between the sun and the number 7, like the 7 rays of light or the 7 tissues of the human body.
Oh, yes.
What's the significance of that?
It points to the sun's role in establishing a fundamental order in the universe. Think of it like this. The sun is the father of stars, the king of the planets. It embodies that positive, constructive, creative force in the cosmos. And that force expresses itself through this principle of 7, creating a framework for life to unfold.
That makes sense. Okay, what about the moon? It's our emotional compass, right?
The moon represents the emotional self, our psyche, instincts, and those fluctuating moods. Think of it as the inner world, our subconscious desires and fears.
The book also mentions that a strong moon is a benefic, a weak one, a malefic. It's interesting how its influence can be so varied.
Exactly. It all comes down to how we harness that lunar energy. A well-aspected moon can bring emotional balance and intuitive insights.
Right.
But a challenged moon can lead to those mood swings, that instability.
So working with our moon's energy is crucial for our emotional well-being. What about Mars, the warrior?
Mars symbolizes action, drive, and the way our inner conflicts play out in the external world.
It's the planet of getting things done, sometimes even stirring things up.
The book describes Mars as bringing concealed powers and weaknesses to the surface.
So it can be a catalyst for growth, even if it's a bit uncomfortable at times.
Precisely. It compels us to face our shadow side and act on our desires. Now, Mercury, the quick-witted communicator, rules the mind, intellect, and duality.
Always thinking, always connecting, always flitting between different ideas.
And the book makes an interesting point about how Mercury represents both the path of material involvement, through Gemini, and the path of spiritual return, through Virgo.
So it helps us navigate both the inner and outer worlds.
Exactly. It's about using our intellect to understand the material realm and connect with our spiritual nature. What about Jupiter, the planet of expansion and wisdom?
Jupiter, always a good one to have on your side.
Jupiter represents wisdom, expansion, and spiritual guidance. Think of it as the guru, the teacher, the one who helps us see the bigger picture.
The book makes a bold statement, saying that unless the period of Jupiter comes during the life of an individual, he cannot be expected to express the best in him.
It's powerful, isn't it?
Powerful stuff.
It really underscores Jupiter's role in our spiritual development. Jupiter helps us connect with our higher selves, expand our consciousness, and find meaning and purpose in life. It's about growth, abundance, and living in alignment with our dharma, our soul's purpose.
So Jupiter is a planet we definitely want on our side. What about Venus, the planet of love and beauty?
Venus is all about beauty, harmony, and refining those material desires. It's the artist, the lover, the one who brings pleasure and aesthetics into our lives.
The book describes Venus as the teacher of the deities, but also one of the best beneficats. That's an interesting duality.
Venus embodies both the indulgence in material pleasures and the potential to spiritualize those desires. It's about finding beauty in both the material and spiritual realms.
So Venus can help us elevate our desires, find joy in the finer things in life, and ultimately connect to a higher form of beauty. What about Saturn, the taskmaster? It's often feared, but it played a crucial role in our evolution, right?
Saturn is associated with discipline, limitations, and ultimately spiritual iteration. It's the planet of karma, reminding us of our responsibilities and pushing us to overcome obstacles.
The book actually says that Saturn creates favorable conditions for imparting spiritual lessons to the individual. So even though it's tough, it's ultimately helping us grow.
Precisely. Saturn teaches us patience, perseverance, and the importance of facing our limitations. It's about mastering the material world so we can transcend it. Now let's move on to the more mysterious planets, Rahu and Ketu.
These are the shadowy, often misunderstood planets, right?
They're often seen that way, but they hold profound meaning in esoteric astrology. The book describes them as spiritually inclined planets, though their methods of arousing spirituality are different from each other.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more about the different approaches.
Rahu represents material desires and the illusions that can actually lead to spiritual awakening.
Okay.
Think of it as the planet of ambition, worldly success, and the pursuit of external fulfillment.
The book describes it as the materialization phenomenon.
Yes.
So Rahu can actually help us achieve our material goals.
Yes, but it's often through experiencing those desires, both the fulfillment and the inevitable disillusionment, that we're pushed towards spiritual growth.
So it's like a cosmic trickster, using our desires to guide us towards something deeper.
Exactly. And Ketu, the mystic, is all about spiritual detachment, intuitive insights, and shedding those ego attachments.
It's the planet of letting go and finding inner peace.
K2 represents transcending the material realm, embracing spiritual practices, and seeking enlightenment. It's about shedding the illusions that bind us and connecting with our true selves.
So Rahu and Ketu are like two sides of the same coin, one pushing us towards material experience, the other pulling us towards spiritual liberation.
That's a great way to put it. They work together to help us evolve and find balance between those two realms.
Wow, what an incredible overview of the planets. It's amazing how each one has such a specific role to play in our soul's journey.
And that's just the beginning. Hindu esoteric astrology offers so much depth and insight into our lives and our place in the cosmos.
This deep dive has already given me so much to think about. I'm eager to explore even more of what this system has to offer.
There's so much more to uncover. We haven't even touched on the lunar mansions or the deeper philosophical implications of this system.
I'm ready to go even deeper. Let's continue our exploration of Hindu esoteric astrology.
Let's do it. We'll uncover more secrets and insights as we journey further into this fascinating system.
So we've explored the planets as these individual actors in our cosmic drama.
Right.
Now, I'm curious about how this system views specific life events,
Oh, okay.
especially those we tend to shy away from.
Like,
Well, the book spends a good deal of time on the astrological significance of death.
death. It's not about morbid curiosity, is it?
No, not at all.
In esoteric astrology, death isn't an ending, you see, but a transition,
A transition.
a meaningful event in the soul's journey, just like any other.
So instead of trying to predict when someone will die,
Right, not about predicting the when.
it's about understanding the deeper significance of that transition.
Exactly. Remember, this system is all about the soul's evolution,
Yeah.
and death is simply another stage in that process.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
How does astrology actually offer insights into death? What specific factors are considered?
Well, the book highlights the importance of the birth chart as a whole,
A whole birth chart.
especially the strength of the first house,
Okay.
representing the individual's life force.
So if your inherent life force is weak, it could mean a shorter lifespan.
Could mean that, yes,
Absolutely.
no matter how successful other areas of your life might be.
So the first house gives us clues about someone's inherent vitality.
Yes, and their potential lifespan.
Okay, but it's not the only piece of the puzzle, right?
Right. The seventh house also plays a significant role.
The seventh house, isn't that the house of partnerships and marriage?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with death?
Remember how we talked about the Hindu concept of Purusha and Prakriti,
Remind me.
the male and female principles that create and sustain life?
Oh, right.
Purusha is the active force, Prakriti the receptive force,
Yeah.
like the cosmic dance of Shiva and Shakti.
Right, that dynamic interplay of energies.
Exactly.
So how does that relate to the first and seventh houses?
Well, the book suggests the first house represents Purusha, the creative impulse, while the seventh house represents Prakriti, the vital energy that sustains that creation.
Okay, I'm following so far.
Good.
But I still don't see the connection to death.
Think of it this way. The quantum of life force, represented by the first house, is gradually dissipated through the activities of the seventh house.
So as we engage with the world through partnerships, relationships, work,
All those activities associated with the seventh house,
we're essentially expending our life force.
that's one way to interpret it.
Yeah,
And when that life force is depleted, we transition to the next realm of existence.
which is where the eighth house comes in. So the eighth house isn't just about death.
No.
It's about what happens after death. It represents that continuation of the soul's journey.
Precisely. And the book also mentions the 12th house,
The 12th house.
the house of hidden realms and the subconscious. It represents the period between incarnations,
Between incarnations.
where the soul undergoes purification
Yeah.
and prepares for its next rebirth.
So it's like a cosmic waiting room where the soul processes its past life experiences and gets ready for its next adventure. And all of this is influenced by the balance between our material attachments, shown by the second house, and our spiritual attainments, shown by the 12th house.
That's the idea. It's about understanding how those different aspects of ourselves contribute to the overall arc of our soul's journey.
Our desires, our experiences, our spiritual growth.
All of it.
This is giving me a whole new perspective on life and death.
Good.
It's not just about the physical body. It's about the soul's evolution through these cycles of existence. Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about lunar mansions. I've heard of those, but I'm not really sure what they are or how they're used in astrology.
Lunar mansions, or nakshatras, add another layer of depth to astrological interpretation. Imagine them as 27 divisions of the zodiac.
27.
each with its own unique symbolism, ruling deity, and planetary association.
So they're like smaller constellations within the bigger zodiac signs.
You could say that, offering a more nuanced understanding of our astrological makeup.
This is getting really interesting, but 27 nakshatras is a lot to grasp. Are there any key concepts or groupings that can make them easier to understand?
Absolutely. One way to categorize the nakshatras is according to the three gunas: sattva, rajas, and tamas.
Okay.
Sattva represents purity and harmony,
Oh.
rajas represents action and passion, and tamas represents inertia and ignorance.
So each nakshatra carries the energy of one of these fundamental qualities.
Precisely. And the book also suggests grouping the nakshatras according to the four primary motivations: dharma, righteous action; artha, wealth and material pursuits; kama, pleasure and desire; and moksha, liberation from the cycle of birth and death.
So depending on which nakshatra your moon is in, we get insights into your karmic path and the challenges you might face in pursuing your soul's purpose.
Exactly. This system weaves together the cosmos, our individual lives, and even our soul's journey across multiple lifetimes. It's not just about personality traits, it's about understanding those deeper motivations and the cosmic forces at play.
This is blowing my mind. The nakshatras add a whole new dimension to the astrological interpretation.
And that's just the beginning. Each nakshatra has its own rich mythology, symbolism, and associated practices. It's a lifelong study, but even a basic understanding can be incredibly insightful.
We've covered the zodiac signs, the planets, and now the lunar mansions. I'm starting to see how all these pieces fit together. What other key insights or concepts does this source material highlight?
Well, one of the main themes running through the book is this idea of interconnectedness.
Interconnectedness.
Everything is connected.
Okay.
And existence is cyclical. Birth and death aren't endpoints, but stages in an ongoing journey.
So it's not about reaching some final destination,
No,
but about evolving and experiencing the fullness of life's cycles.
precisely. It's about understanding our place within the grand scheme of things, that cosmic dance we talked about earlier.
This reminds me of the concept of Kalapurusha, the cosmic man. Each zodiac sign corresponds to a part of his body.
Exactly. It's like we're all literally pieces of the cosmos, connected through our astrological signs. And that interconnectedness extends beyond ourselves to every aspect of creation.
It's a beautiful and humbling concept. It makes me feel more connected to everything around me.
And that's the power of esoteric astrology. It helps us see beyond the superficial and understand our place in that vast cosmic tapestry. It invites us to look deeper, to explore the mysteries of the universe and our place within it.
This deep dive has been incredible. I'm already feeling a shift in my perspective, a sense of wonder about this cosmic dance we're all part of.
And there's still so much more to explore. We haven't even touched on astrological symbology, which adds yet another layer of meaning to this system.
Astrological symbology, what's that all about?
Think of it as a secret language embedded within astrology. The book talks about how symbols like geometric shapes, natural objects, even allegorical stories represent different concepts and energies.
It's like there's a whole hidden dimension to this system just waiting to be unlocked.
Exactly. And understanding these symbols can unlock deeper levels of meaning and understanding.
This is blowing my mind. I can't wait to learn more about these astrological symbols. Let's dive into that next.
Let's do it. We'll uncover the hidden language of astrological symbols and see how it enriches our understanding of this fascinating system.
Okay, let's talk symbols. This secret language, ready to decode some cosmic messages.
All right, where do we begin?
Well, I guess we gotta start with the basics, right?
You can circle.
Yeah, the circle, it seems so simple, but
Packed with meaning in this context.
I bet.
It represents that divine unity, you see, the source of all creation. Everything comes from it, returns to it. It's,
A symbol of the cosmos itself.
encompassing everything within its boundary.
Makes sense, but the book also mentions a circle with a point in the center.
Ah, yes, that central point. That's where it gets interesting.
So what's the significance?
That point, it represents the emergence of individuality, you see.
The separation from that initial unity.
Yeah, like a spark of consciousness within the vast expanse of creation.
Like the big bang of the soul, that first impulse of individuation that sets everything in motion.
That's a great way to think about it. And it's no coincidence that the book connects this symbol to the sun,
The sun, right? The source of our individual ego.
the life giver in our solar system.
Okay, I'm seeing how these symbols work. They add a whole other dimension to the astrological interpretation. What other key symbols should we explore?
Well, the book talks about the cross, which is fascinating.
The cross.
because of its prevalence, across so many cultures, spiritual
The
traditions.
cross, yeah, it's powerful. Often associated with sacrifice and redemption, but
What's its significance here in esoteric astrology?
yeah, exactly.
Well, the cross represents regeneration, that intersection of the material and spiritual realms you see.
Okay.
It symbolizes the soul's journey through the cycles of birth, life, death, and immortality.
So it's not just a Christian symbol then.
No, not at all.
It's a universal archetype. It speaks to that journey of the soul, its descent into matter, and then its eventual return to the spiritual realm.
Exactly. And the book even talks about how the cross was used in ancient initiation rituals,
Really?
signifying, spiritual rebirth and the union of the astral soul with the divine spirit.
Wow, that's pretty profound. It's amazing how these symbols hold such deep meaning across cultures and time periods.
It speaks to their universality, wouldn't you say?
Sure.
And how they resonate with the human experience, tapping into something fundamental within us.
Okay, how about the serpent? Now that's a symbol with a lot of baggage, both positive and negative.
Yeah, the serpent. Often seen as temptation, danger, but also wisdom and transformation.
A bit of a paradox. How does esoteric astrology view it?
It represents Kundalini energy in this system, that primal life force that lies dormant at the base of the spine. It symbolizes the potential for spiritual awakening and the transformation that comes with it.
So it's not about fearing the serpent, it's about harnessing that energy.
Exactly.
Understanding its power, using it for growth, spiritual growth.
The book specifically mentions the Naga, that long black serpent in Hindu mythology, representing wisdom, spiritual power.
I remember reading about the Naga in some of those occult texts you recommended, often depicted as guardians of sacred knowledge protecting those ancient mysteries.
Exactly. They embody that serpent energy in its most positive, transformative form.
Wow, that's just a glimpse into the world of astrological symbology.
There's so many more.
Countless other symbols, each with their own meaning and significance.
A whole world to explore.
Mind officially blown. This deep dive has taken us on quite a journey. We explored the zodiac signs, the planets, those lunar mansions, and now this language of symbols.
It's like peeling back layers of an onion, right?
Exactly. Revealing more and more complexity and depth with each layer.
And remember, this is just the beginning.
There's so much more to Hindu esoteric astrology. This is just scratching the surface.
It's a system that invites us to keep asking questions,
Yeah.
keep delving deeper, keep expanding our understanding of ourselves and the universe.
I'm definitely feeling inspired to continue this exploration. What's one thing you'd recommend our listener focus on now that they have this basic understanding?
Well, think about the unique combination of planets and signs in your own birth chart.
Okay, my own birth chart.
What symbols resonate with you? How do those symbols connect to the themes, the challenges you're experiencing in your life right now?
That's great advice. It's not just about absorbing information, it's about applying it to your own life, using it as a tool.
A tool for self-discovery and growth.
Yes. This deep dive has been an incredible journey, and I'm excited to see where it leads.
It's been my pleasure to be your guide on this journey. And remember, the exploration doesn't end here.
Definitely not. There's always more to learn.
Keep learning, keep questioning, keep expanding your understanding of this amazing universe we inhabit.
To our listener out there, we encourage you to do the same. Dive deep into the wisdom of esoteric astrology and see what treasures you uncover. Until next time, may your journey be filled with light, insight, and cosmic connection.